got a message from someone in Lithonia, Georgia, and telling me about condition that the woman that I used to be with is in, and they're saying in a she's not in good condition as far as her mind state is concerned. That doesn't surprise me, and she was reaching out to me because this is an older woman that she had introduced me to when I was there. And she was asking me, had I heard from her? I'm like, no, we haven't talked. We haven't talked at all. Talking about Salam Yuma. And she said, well, she's not well. And she said, I thought that I would call you. She said, I got your phone number off your Facebook. And she said, I thought that I would call you and see if you're able to reach out to her. And I told her, I have various avenues to be able to reach out to her. Wrote her an email not too long ago, and she didn't respond. And she's like that. A lot of people want to say, well, she's a Scorpio sign. You have some points when it comes to somebody's zodiac sign, but you can't totally uh, conclude upon a person's entire self simply by the snapshot of a characteristic that you know a certain sign expresses. It's wow. This unresolved matter thing, man, it just keeps coming back. Because I talk on it a whole lot because there's a lot of areas in my life that are unresolved, and a lot of those areas in my life and the life of a whole lot of other people are going to remain unresolved because both parties have to be willing to resolve those different matters. And when it comes to a situation where a person feels as though someone else's life is in danger, and so they are so concerned about them that they reach out to someone who's not even in the same state anymore to see if they can assist in some way to try to preserve this person's life. You can only do what you can, but at the same time, if that person doesn't have any interest in preserving their own life, no matter how much effort that you put into it to try to get them back on the right track, you're not going to be very successful, because it has to be a cooperative effort. But a lot of times, I think that that's a very cliche way of thinking about it, or a common way of thinking about it, because if that was the case, then a lot of people wouldn't be here. Sometimes you just have to be the type of person to where you take on the full responsibility on trying to get someone back on the right track, even though they don't want to, which seems like a very dangerous idea and even effort for you to embark on, because a whole lot of times people will pull you down right along with them. You get to the point where you're trying to help a person for so long, you become exhausted, because you get, annoyed, then you get irritated, and then you get frustrated, and then you end up quitting. You know, you just end up quitting. Because you feel that you're at your wit's end because this person is just not interested in saving themselves. For some reason, regardless of what they're trying to, what they're in the process of doing, whether it's alcohol or drugs or whatever else type of vice that has a hold to them. A lot of those people don't really see anything wrong with that. They don't even perceive it as an endangerment, which could lead to their deaths. And something that can succumb you to the point to where you think that using a substance or whatever else that you're in it's convinced you that it's the norm for you in particular. I mean, that has to be something else. So I just told her it's really nothing that I can do. It's nothing I can do. She's worried about her, so I just told her it's nothing that I can do. It's nothing I can do. So yeah, but that seems to be the issue with a whole lot of people. Especially this day, today. With everything that's going on out here, there's a lot of things going on, man. I bumped into a guy tonight that I used to work with at Caesar's Palace. This was years ago, back in the late 80s. And he's homeless. And he was laying on the sidewalk right outside the store. And I have a habit of, when I'm walking the street, I really don't like being bothered, and sometimes that's beneficial, sometimes it's not. And this night in particular, it wasn't beneficial, because when I was going into the store, he looked up at me and he said, hey bro, just threw my hand up and said, don't bother me, bro, please. I just went in the store and got what I wanted. And then as I was walking out, he was getting up and he looked at me. He said, hey man, I used to work with you at Caesar's Palace. I used to work with you at Caesar's Palace, man. Don't you recognize me? And I looked up at him and I did recognize him. And I just kept walking. I mean, I recognized him, but due to the fact that I kept walking and I got away from him, I'm questioning myself, what was I looking at? Was I looking at him, or was I looking at a possibility for myself? And, sometimes we have to ask ourselves, when we look at others in a real compromising position, are we looking through a screen to where we see a reflection of ourselves as far as possibilities is concerned? Because actually, that screen represents a possibility. I mean, this could be you, just the same as this person, but as long as we keep abandoning each other like that, the world's not going to be worth a damn to live in. And I'm definitely guilty of that tonight, definitely. And I'm not too ashamed or too embarrassed to admit it. We have got to do better, bro. We got to do better, fam. Talking about the human, fam. You just got to do better. Got to do better. Because I recognized him, but I wasn't able to recall his name, because we're talking about back in Let me see. 1990, actually. Yeah, it's back in 1990. But one thing that I've noticed that this pandemic and now this inflation, it's bringing out the worst of us, man. It's bringing out the worst. You know, for it's affecting the human family in a way to where those who end up losing their jobs and losing their homes and they end up on the street, they're out there and they're trying to make it. And the majority of the day, they're relying on humanity itself, which is us, to help them get through to the next day by simply asking us, you know, for a few dollars or a few change, something like that, or to try to get your attention, hoping that if they can get you to remember that you used to work with them, then maybe in some miraculous way you'd be able to put forth an effort to help them. But I just wasn't able to do that. So that's a strike against me tonight. You know, that's no doubt about that. That's definitely a strike against me. You know, and what is beautiful about this, though, is the fact that I'm able to see that that is a flaw that needs to be resolved within me, you know, and that's helping me understand that I was looking at myself and the possibilities, because homelessness is a condition that can affect anybody. You know, because I was homeless once in San Francisco. And what I learned about being homeless is that, you know, homelessness really doesn't only imply a person not having shelter. You know, it's just because actually the earth is our home, so it's really like whether you have shelter or not, you're really not homeless, you know, because you're living on the earth. Now, a lot of people may say, well, that's not the right way to look at it. Well, from a person who's been homeless before, I feel like I'm in a better position to help people understand exactly what homeless is. You know, homelessness, like I said before, is not simply someone who doesn't have a place to live regarding shelter is concerned. See, homelessness is when you are starving, not hungry. You're past hunger. You're starving now. And another way that you can make a distinction between hunger and starving is you go for a long time, not a real long time, but you know, like a couple of days, up to 3 days, being hungry, and then you just wake up one day and you're not hungry, you know, and you go a couple of days and your appetite's gone. And one of the reasons why your appetite's gone is because the body has started feeding on itself, because this organism has an intelligence of its own. And you know how we say the first and I forget the first line of survival, I'm gonna say, is self-preservation. Well, you know, this flesh feels that same way also. And so it starts feeding on itself. And then there's a strange smell that starts coming out. You wondering, where's that smell coming from? It smells kind of sweet, but it's kind of sour, it's kind of foul. It's your body feeding on itself, you know. And if someone wants to tell you that, you say, well, I'm not hungry. Of course you're not hungry, because the body has started its self-preservation journey in feeding on itself in order to try to function. So it's trying to keep itself alive, and it's trying to keep you alive. Another form of homelessness is not knowing where your next meal is going to come from, and not knowing where you're going to lay your head the next day. And homelessness is when you're reaching out to the rest of humanity, and nobody tries to help you, because when they look at you, it makes them afraid because of the condition that you're in. I'm only speaking on what I experienced. It's not that people are afraid of you. It's not that people hate you, because these people don't even know you. It's the condition, it's the reality of being homeless. It's what those people are really looking at. They're actually looking at themselves as a possibility. That's really what they're looking at. They're looking at someone who is by themselves, to where no one else cares. No one else cares. And so that's what a lot of people in society are afraid of today. They are afraid of being without, and being without assistance from the rest of humanity, whether it's someone walking by, whether it's institutions, or whether it's family members that they can no longer reach out to. So, man, I learned a lot tonight. I just wanted to share that with everybody, but I'm definitely going to do better, because I'm definitely going to look out for him tomorrow when I go back over there. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. I don't know, man. It's amazing how you're living within a government system where all it takes is the decisions of less than a handful of people to make such a huge impact on the rest of the country, where it changes everybody's life to the point where they lose everything, and where they were sitting in their apartments, in their houses, in their condos, or wherever else they were abiding. Now they're not there anymore. And this is a condition that it doesn't discriminate. I mean, it could be for anyone, it could be for anyone. I tell everybody, tell a lot of people that the only way that the world's going to become a better place, we have to become better human beings. We have to get back to humanity. We have to get back to having compassion for one another. Because a lot of things that are going on out here in our world today, as I was saying earlier today, a lot of those things are just rooted in fear. And as you continue to observe, a lot of people would like to show compassion, but it just seems like everyone is made to have such a limited amount of funds and everything. Sometimes you Sometimes people don't want to be generous because a lot of times people are afraid that that's going to put them in a bind, and they feel as though if I give, then that's going to put me in that same position. But the universe sees things different, and I also can speak on that just as well as you can and others can. You know, when you give, the universe sees that, and it might not give it back to you immediately or the same way, but usually during times when you may come to need something, the universe acts upon you because you act upon helping someone else. So, this is a condition that it's affecting the worldwide. I was talking to an Arab friend of mine's in his restaurant today. I was in there talking to him and this other brother that I know at the Sunni Muslim masjid on the west side. It's called Masjid As-Sabur. And I was in there talking to them today, and the Arab guy, I forget what his name is, but he was telling me the way that COVID-19 and now with Biden doing such a poor job dealing with the economy and other things. He said it's almost like it's a double whammy, and he said, and you see what it's doing. It's making living in this country so complicated. And it's a lot of people said, I want to leave the country. I want to leave the country. How are you going to leave the country? You don't have any funds. And if you're going to leave the country, where are you going? I mean, that's like Taraji. She says she wants to leave America. And not only her, it's a whole lot of people who would like to leave America. I would like to leave America. But one of the things that a lot of people are trying to get away from primarily is the Western culture. However, it's gotten to the point to where no matter where you go on the planet, the Western culture is going to be present, because the Western culture is what has conquered the world. And this is the reason why we're under a government system right now. Where there is a government, the Western culture is there. And if you really do your studying, regardless of how the Western culture has treated who's called African Americans and other colored people of the planet, the mother of the Western culture is the Egyptians. They created the Western culture, and then when Rome came, which was a more military type culture, after Egypt fell, then Rome, conquered, and then after Rome fell, then Great Britain. But see, Great Britain took the original formula from Egypt, the military formula from Rome, and they put that together, and they sophisticated all of those things, and they formed the culture over there, what is known today as the UK. And now the Great Britain was born America. America is just the daughter of Great Britain. America's the daughter of Great Britain. So no matter where you go, you're gonna bump into the Western culture. You're gonna bump into the Western culture. So if you go to Africa, the Western culture is there. The Asians are taking over there, but everyone knows that. But so the reason why I'm bringing all of this up is that the only way that things are going to get better for the human family has to make it better for ourselves. We can't rely on any type of government system in order to make things better for us, because governments don't gain their power by making the governed enabled to govern for themselves and to help themselves. That's not the reason why Rome came into the picture and hitched the world to their plow and plugged in a government system. And this is what we're dealing with today. This is what we're dealing with today. But the only way that things are going to get better for us, we have to become better human beings. And that's just the way it is. One more thing before I go. There's a young lady on my Facebook channel, of course. Her name is Tisha. She had asked me in my DM, she said, why is it that you say that you want to stay away from the manosphere, subjects? She said, because I think you are a very intelligent man. I think you could help. It's just that I don't know. I don't think me. I don't have. I just don't think that's my area. I don't think that's my area. A lot of people see how very reserved I am, and what I notice about Black women's attitude towards me is that a lot of Black women are attracted to me because of my humility. Now one of the things that I've always noticed about myself, and pretty much a lot of Black women and Black men notice about myself, is my sense of being reserved. Now, most Black men are more, I would say, assertive, and the best, they're more assertive. I'll put it that way. I won't use the name loud, stuff like that. Some of us are more calm and reserved. Now, I definitely can go there. And when I go there, I'm getting ready to hurt somebody. So the majority of the times, I'm relatively a very easygoing man, because that's my nature. My granddad was like that, and all of my uncles are like that. All of my uncles are like that. The Kellys, the Kellys. We're some very reserved men, and so well, I was just telling her that I don't feel like that's my place, because I watch other people deal with it. Shout out to Angry Man. I watch Angry Man a whole lot. I think Angry Man is absolutely brilliant. I mean, just absolutely brilliant young man, and absolutely brilliant. Rather, a shout out to Anton Daniels, and I'm not trying to get clout. I'm just, because I don't need clout. I'm really not here to be famous or anything. It's just that I think that in my 58 years, I think I've learned a whole lot in life, to where I feel as though I can share my experiences on YouTube and you know, somebody just might hear something, you know, it'll help them to get by. But I'm not here to be famous. And so when I give shout outs like that, I'm not trying to draw anybody's attention towards me, because I actually listen to these brothers. I think they're absolutely brilliant. I think they're brilliant. Um, uh, yeah, just those two. I listen to those two, and they're on another level that I'm on. I'm most more on a spiritual level. Not saying that they're not, but I'm on a more spiritual level, and that's pretty much it. I'm on a more calm level now. I think that everybody is made effective in their particular area where everyone works. But like I say, I think those two brothers are absolutely brilliant. And so to me, I think there's enough brothers out there, along with those two, that are able to deal with that. And plus, I'm 58 years old, you know, and so I'll be honest with you. I'm 58 years old. Um, my youngest son is 29. My oldest son is 32. And I've truly gotten to the point in my life right now is that I'm just not interested in relationships. You know, I'll date, you know, but to me, the way that I'm feeling right now, it's too late. You know, if I haven't been married by now, and that's really not it. I'm not really interested in relationships and marriage and everything. You know, I enjoy my own company so much, and I enjoy writing, and I just love being alone, and you know, and I'm at peace with being alone. You know, so that's pretty much it. I think that's one of the main reasons why the whole manosphere area of YouTube, um, I wouldn't be very effective in that area because I lack interest in relationships. And so if a man who lacks interest in relationships, there's no reason for me to be on anyone's panel talking about relationships with black women and all of that. You know, I feel like that's not my place. You know, so that's pretty much it. But we definitely have to do better, and I'm definitely going to start with me. Start with me first. Definitely going to start with me first. Okay, so everybody have a good morning. I'm getting ready to lay down. This 127 out here in Las Vegas. 127 in Las Vegas, and everybody stay human. One love. Peace.